Podketeers.
You know, I'm glad it's still late for the time that we're recording, but I'm glad that we're earlier than normal because I'm having one of those days today where my body just feels like, bro, you're done. It's like tap, 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 you're done. And so I'm going to apologize in advance to both of you and everybody watching because I feel, or listening if you're listening, because I feel like there's going to be times throughout the episode where I may yawn or I might look like I'm zoning out. And please understand that this has nothing to do with either of you, what we're talking about. It is just the fact that my body feels so tired right now. And it's just so heavy. Keep your jokes aside, people listening.
Hi.
But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that, you know, we're doing this. I'm happy that we got to chat before we got started. And there's a ton I want to hear about because one, Mel, I know you went to Knott this last week, and I have to admit, I miss the Knott's chicken. I know we're always excited about Plaza Chicken, but man, there's something so good about the Knott's chicken. That Mama Knott's restaurant is just so good. Did you have the chicken that day?
Took some home.
Okay. Hey, look, either way, you still ended up with the chicken.
I went home with a whole bucket.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I do not blame you. For those of you that have had the Plaza Inn chicken at Disneyland and have never had the opportunity to try the Mama Knott's chicken, we've had debates on this very podcast about which chicken is better. Now, I know Disney fans are going to be like, well, it's the Plaza Inn chicken. It's got to be the Plaza chicken. No, it doesn't. No. Because there have been times that I have gotten Plaza chicken that it was dry. It wasn't great.
Plaza chicken, here's the thing why Plaza chicken is like so good. It's good compared to everything else you eat at Disneyland.
Very true.
Like
very true.
Like, this is why like you have to like set yourself up. If you take Plaza chicken out and like take it to like, you know, a place that specializes in fried chicken, like a regular restaurant or whatever. That's not like a fast food place, but like a restaurant that does fried chicken. It's probably going to be better than Disneyland or Knott's for that matter.
That's true.
But that Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner restaurant is a whole restaurant dedicated just to chicken dinner.
Yeah. I know I keep calling it Mama Knott's. I know it's Mrs. Knott's, but it feels so cozy to call it Mama Knott's.
It does.
You know.
Also, by the way, we're not sponsored by Gatorade, but I feel like I'm holding the Gatorade bottle like we're sponsored by Gatorade.
Sponsored by
Arrowhead Water.
I have Arrowhead Water.
Arrowhead Water's owned by Pepsi, and Gatorade's owned by
Sponsored by plastic bottles today.
Gatorade's owned by Pepsi too. We're sponsored by PepsiCo.
Oh, Pepsi, call us.
PepsiCo.
Hey, sure.
Yum Brands.
Sponsored by a plastic bottle of water because I didn't fill up my canteen.
And I wanted blue flavor.
Ooh, blue flavor.
Blue. I like how it's just called Cool
Mine
Blue.
is clear flavor.
Clear flavor.
Yeah. Tell us what Knott's was like. Do they have any cool things happening right now? How was your adventure?
Okay. It's like so much. I actually have notes because if not, I will forget everything. It was actually pretty nice.
Really?
We went for a Monday and we thought, okay, because school's out right now for Orange County, so we thought, oh, it's gonna be pretty packed. It wasn't packed at all. It was actually really, really nice. And I think it's because the other side, LA County, they haven't gone on spring break yet.
Oh.
So we may have hit that one special part, like that time where it's the calm before the storm. So it was nice. Like, you could see the floor.
Oh.
And like in Disney terms, that's not a thing you see. You don't see floors. But it was actually pretty pleasant. Weather was so nice. It was like 70, no, not even, it was like 60 something.
Mm-hmm.
It was
good.
like something I could have I was already excited just to go, and not expecting much. I was like, all right, it's gonna be packed, da da da. End up being the total opposite.
Wow.
I got to try, I'd never been to the Boysenberry Festival, so this was my first time looking at everything.
Mm-hmm.
The different foods and whatnot. We ended up splitting I guess they're like, they don't have tabs, but the pass that they have, and each one was like 60, I think 62, because I split it was like 31 something. But
Yeah.
you got about 6 different things that you could choose from, and there was so many options. I didn't eat too much because I was just more like, one, I had to be safe for my stomach. So I split food, which is cool. As long as I got to taste it, I'm fine. We had tried the mac and cheese with barbacoa, but it was mixed with boysenberries, like in the salsa, and it was pretty good. Like that was yummy, and they were like
Nice.
pretty good size, like food. So hearty. We had that. The one thing that tripped me out was the stuffed baked potato, and
Oh, you got my attention with baked potato.
you have potato, and then they scoop up what's inside the potato, make it into mashed potato, put it on top, and then you have barbecue on top, like pulled pork.
Oh, that sounds so good.
One could feed 2 for sure. And
I love baked potatoes. They
I do
are
too.
they're so good. I had a
They
baked
are.
potato yesterday.
Nice. There's a before you go on, just Andrew, you reminded me that where Mel and I used to do the art walk, where we first started, because it was in a little park before it merged over to the full street with all the vendors, like taking up all the alleys in the street, where we ended up finishing doing it. The little park that they used to hold it at, they still do a farmer's market like every
Oh.
Friday, and there's a barbecue tent that pops up. They have like their smoker on the side and everything. They have pulled pork. They have like all sorts of different barbecue, and they have these massive potatoes, these baked potatoes that they rip open, and they add all sorts of the like pulled pork and all sorts of stuff. And listen, I've always loved to eat barbecue. It's one of my favorite things to eat. But every time, like, these have been so big. I haven't been in a while, but they've always been so big that I have not been able to finish one of those potatoes with how much they pack it. Like, that's how
Yeah.
big and how hearty they are with all the pulled pork and stuff. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
You were
no,
talking
that's fine.
boysenberry, and
sounded
I
good.
have a I have a soft spot for the boysenberry funnel cake that they have there. So.
That's the only thing I didn't get. I didn't
Oh.
get funnel cake. I waited for dessert till the end. I came home with like a lot, so I made up for that. But
Yeah.
one thing that they had, and I've never seen anything. I've only seen it on TV or whatever on YouTube. I've never seen a pie eating contest ever. And
There was one?
yeah,
What?
they have one. Yeah. I don't know the history behind it, but I was already like, so many questions. Who signs up for this? How does anybody get
Is it
sick?
just
What do they give them to?
anybody? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had so many questions. So we're sitting down on a bench waiting. They have like good seating and stuff. It's actually right in front of Calico Mine Train, like that little grassy area.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what they do is they have 6 spots, and on the side, people could put their name, if they want to join, but they have to be there when you call your name. We saw someone get called out and they weren't in the area, so they next
forfeit their spot.
Man.
So the thing for me, I'm like watching, I'm like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna happen. Who signs up? I don't know who was signing
Joey
up.
Chestnut.
I actually asked out loud, like, who goes to Knott's to go for a pie eating contest? Like, I don't know. I'm really like naive on this. So 6 people show up. No, they call out the 6 people. 3 of them are kids, which was awesome. little kids. Like they had, I want to say, gosh, maybe 10 years old was the youngest.
Little
I want to say.
Jimmy.
Yeah, and grown adults. Like it was hilarious. So they give you ponchos. I thought bibs. No, they give you ponchos.
Like the contestants get the ponchos.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, not us.
I was like, the audience gets the ponchos too, or
No.
Be careful. There's going to be like water splashing.
are you in
or
the
there's
splash
boysenberry
zone?
splashing.
The berry splash zone.
So they give them that, and then they give them a glass of water, and I'm like, is that with boysenberry? Like, are they gonna drink more boysenberry juice after having the pie?
Yeah, baby.
No, it's just water. I was like, oh, okay,
It's just
cool,
water.
cool.
That's just from the office. Slide it down your gullet faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the contest, you're not actually eating the pie. What you're trying to do is trying to scoop it out with your mouth. So it's like you had to use your imagination. You just had to try, and they gave them about like maybe 5 minutes, maybe less. I think it was like less. And they went through and checked, everyone's pie just for fun, and so that like parents or family could take pictures of them, like as they're presenting it. And who won? It was
Joey Chestnut.
No.
No, not Joey Chestnut.
Little Joey Chestnut.
little chest.
Lil.
I want to say this guy who looked maybe in his like his 20s.
Okay.
Oh,
And
big Joey Chestnut.
Yeah,
he
medium
just, like,
chestnut.
Like big old. He took a big chunk out. So I learned that after you win, you get a pie.
Okay. That's
Everybody
a
else gets
prize.
a sticker.
Okay.
Yep. So that was
It's not
pretty
bad.
cool. I was like, okay.
So you said they're
Go
not
in.
eating the pie; they're just scooping it out and like dumping it on the table, like with their mouth. They're just like.
Yeah.
I
Just
guess
like-
they can eat it if they want.
They
but
could,
But that's not the point of it. It's just whoever could get the pie out of the tin the fastest with their mouth.
and it's like the older guy had like a beard and it was like all over and stuff. So it's
It's
like,
a boysenberry pie scooping contest.
yeah.
I know you're not a big hot sauce guy, Andrew,
Uh-huh.
like spicy stuff.
Correct.
And I don't even think it's spicy. Like it's not going to be on Hot Ones anytime soon. But boysenberry hot sauce, or like they have a boysenberry hot sauce like in the gift shop.
Okay.
It's like $10 or $12 or something. Fantastic with chicken,
I don't know
especially
if I've ever had a
from
boysenberry
Mama
flavored
Knott's
anything.
or Mrs. Knott's chicken. But
They
Oh.
actually have boysenberry ranch.
I haven't
Ranch?
tried that. I haven't tried the boysenberry. I'm okay with trying all of that stuff just to get a feel for it, to see what it's
Yeah.
like. But the boysenberry hot sauce for me was one that I would have always just purchased. It's kind of
Had on
expensive for what it
hand.
is, but I would love to have it on hand, especially for like fried chicken, because I like the contrast of the spicy and the sweet that comes along with both of those flavor profiles.
Yeah.
And you got like the crunch of the chicken and everything, and it's just it's fantastic. So if anybody is in that area and you go to Knott's, and you like spicy food, I definitely recommend getting the chicken and then getting some of the spicy boysenberry sauce. My wife just brought some home not too long ago. She was at Knott's maybe like a month ago, and she brought some home, and I was like, yes.
And that's the beauty. You don't even have to go in the park. You could just park outside and just go in.
Yeah, that
Yep.
you can
Right
go
there.
get from in and out of the park, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
that's fantastic. Next time, Mel, you'll have to try the funnel cake. The funnel cake at Knott's, I feel, is the equivalent of the churro at Disneyland. It's kind of their signature quick dessert thing from a cart. I mean, it's not at a cart at Knott's, but it's kind of their churro.
They need to make like a
Basically.
funnel cake stick. So it's like a churro, but like you can
Oh.
just like
Ooh.
Yeah. But they always load it with stuff, so it would be difficult to eat the same way because it always has like ice cream and some kind of sauce on it and everything. Plus, it's got like all that powder on it, the sugar powder.
Don't want to bring that in.
Or the powdered sugar. I mean, well. Have you seen those videos on Instagram and TikTok where they're like, all right, who ate my powdered donuts? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. And the other person's like all full of the powder. It's like, it wasn't me either.
There's that one, like, it's like some lady's mom, and she's, what was her? I forget it. I'm gonna screw this up. I'll find the video and send it to you.
Okay.
If we can post it somewhere.
It's like, hey, remember that moment where Andrew was like, I forgot. This is what we were talking about.
This is what we were talking about. I'm gonna find it right now, and I'll just
It's
interject
alright.
with her name.
Okay.
You update us.
Well, that's
Oh,
awesome. Did you get on any attractions?
A few. I kind of limited right now of what I could do. Like Ghost Riders, can't do that. Due to my lower back, I was like, no.
Yeah.
The one, actually, this one, no, I went on a few, but the one that was really, really cool, and actually I felt good for a while, Hang Time.
Really?
Yeah, Hang Time. I don't know if you've seen it or how it works, but you're sitting like in fours. So you're sitting up. You're like in a plastic chair or whatever. Get your handlebar, all that stuff. But when you go up and you're seated on your like this. You're facing up. You're facing the sky. Which one felt so good on my back? Kept going. I was like, I don't care how tall, I don't care how high you're going. I feel great. So I'm like, this feels good. And so once you reach the top, you're kind of just drop. You just
they
drop.
flip you over and drop you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it's so smooth. The attraction is so smooth that at one point I was like,
I can.
I'm gonna just put my legs out. I'm gonna relax. I felt weightless, dude. Weightless for 1 second.
That's awesome.
For someone whose, body kind of hurts, that just feels great. So
Yeah.
I was like, I like this. As long as it's like this, I could ride this again. That's fine. Everything else would pretty much hurt me. So I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. I can imagine the relief when you're just weightless, like you said. Everything else just requires so much gravity. Even when you're sitting, like straight on an attraction, and depending on the attraction, obviously. Let's face it, a lot of those attractions, for me especially, they are not fluffy friendly. So there's some that I struggle to sit in comfortably, so yeah, anytime you can find an attraction that makes you, comfortable in any way, and especially alleviating that pressure from your back the way that you're describing, I can imagine that was like better than any chiropractor visit for those 3 minutes of hang time that you were doing.
Pretty much.
Don't they have
much.
one where you like ride like a horse?
Pony Express?
Oh, Pony Express.
Yeah,
Dude, that one
found-
hurts.
I found
that one hurts.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the lady.
Aw.
Okay.
I don't know. She's a Filipino mom or grandma. The account is Otakio. I can't say it.
Well, text it to me.
Otakoyakaisoba is the
Oh, wow.
is the name
Okay.
of the one. I see her videos all the time on my Instagram and stuff. I'll share you this one right now.
Okay.
But I'm sure people have seen this video before. I'm sorry I'm being so like I can't pronounce this.
Or send it to me and I could just bring it up as part of the video.
All right.
The magic of editing.
Brum, bum, bum. Here it is. I sent it to Hazen.
All right, let's see.
But anyway.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So, yes.
I could keep
I was
talking
gonna ask,
about...
did you write Berry Tales?
I did. And... Okay, where do I start? I don't know any of the characters, so I went in with, let's go have fun. I know this has changed because I got to go on when it was Iron Reef, and that one was kind of like doomsday-ish. So I was like, Berry Tales is cute. It is very cute. We didn't hear instructions, so I had no idea what we were doing. All I know is we're just flinging pies all over. I don't know who's the bad guy. I don't know, and I'm the characters, like I said, they're cute. I wish I known a little bit more, but yeah, it was kind of like Toy Story Mania, but you're just like, all right, go. You have 3D glasses. Shoot. Cool.
So yeah, so it looks like Moxie and Brawny are the name of the two main characters.
See, I'm learning more.
Or
as I
no,
go.
wait. Oh no, sorry.
Somebody.
Boysenberry is the bear. Is the main. He's like in a little Donald Duck sailor suit. And then there's Crafty Coyote, who seems to be the main bad guy.
Oh, it's a
And
coyote. I thought it was
Yeah. And
wolf.
then Moxie and Brawny are like also like coyotes, but they're like kids.
Oh, okay.
This is from.
I didn't know their names. That's cool.
It's on the Knott's Berry Farm website. Talking
Nice.
about the
Nice.
Berry Tales meet and greet characters.
All right. I have that video ready whenever you're ready to move. Or move to the video before Mel tells us the rest of her stuff. All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, let's check this out here. All right, gotta make this. Is it muted? Yes, it is. Oh, sorry, I didn't turn on the audio. Hold on.
Ate
Here
the
we go.
powder donuts. Earlier it was 10, now it's just 3.
That's
Earlier
not me.
it was 10, now it's just 3.
That's
Liars.
not me.
We have to be honest here.
Liars.
We are only three. How can I eat that? I'm vegan. How can I eat that? I'm vegan. Oh, I cannot.
I'm vegan. Yes. I've
That is
seen her come
hilarious.
up at least once before
She's very funny.
in my feed. She is very funny. That's exactly.
She reminds me of also the pancake pie. Old lady.
Oh, yeah. She does.
Not the
That's
pancake
awesome.
pie, the pancake pie.
I love this.
Oh,
How
they're
can I
so
even eat this?
precious.
I'm vegan.
Look, I can't even reach it.
That's fantastic.
Anyway, that was a long road to get to that video, but we found it.
Hey, we did it. Hey,
Very
and we enjoyed it. What else did you get a chance to? Did you do any of the shows or anything? Did they have Snoopy on Ice or Snoopy at the beach or anything
No.
in the Charles Schultz Theater?
No, they didn't have anything like that. I
they
didn't
don't
get
have
to
a
see
lot of
Snoopy, so that was
entertainment
kind of
during-
sad.
Yeah, it was Monday, right? So I'm assuming
Yeah.
they don't have like a lot of their bigger entertainment on during the week. Did
They
you go
do
on?
have-
Oh,
What's
go
that?
ahead. No, you continue. They do have.
They do have Knott's Preserved, and I think that started last year or
Oh, okay.
last
What's that?
fall. It's a 25-minute show, and it's really charming. It's literally a stage show. Like, it's really well done, and it's about, Walter Knott and Cordelia Knott, like how they came to California, how they got their inspiration from Knott itself. Like, it kind of
Oh,
goes throughout the
cool.
lands. I mean, it was pretty fun. If you're, I'm not big on country, but I will watch it. I'll appreciate it. But if you are into country, you'll love it. It's very based off of that. But like I said, it does tie into what the park is, so it makes a lot of sense. It's not cheesy. It's not corny at all. It's really, really, like I said, really well done. So, I mean, I hope it stays for a while because I think it's, people should see it. It could be on a stage. Well, it is on a stage, but it could be bigger. But it's really cool. Like, even if not even a full year. So I would say definitely check it out on YouTube because I believe I saw it on there.
I'm watching it on YouTube right now.
There we go.
Ah, nice.
There we go.
Well, we'll take the link that you're watching and then we'll post it on Discord as part of the episode. But that's cool. So it sounds like it's very similar to the whole like the Disneyland story presents great moments with Mr. Lincoln, right? Where they talk about Disneyland and Walt coming to Anaheim and the orange groves and all that stuff.
Except it's a musical.
It is.
Oh, it's a musical, like 100% musical.
It's like a country musical is what it sounds
I
like.
thought it just had country music in the background.
No,
Oh,
there's
no.
there's like dancing and lumberjacks and
And then you do hear from Walter himself. pretty
wagon folk and more lumberjacks.
It's fun.
Cool.
People in the 50s.
Where do they have this one?
In the same area as the pie eating contest.
Oh, so it's
after they
just out in
changed
the
that-
open?
Yeah.
Wow, they really compress
Calico
everything.
Mine stage.
Yep.
That's interesting. Speaking of Calico, did you do the mine train?
Of course.
Nice.
Does it need
Did you do the
WD-40?
big
Of
train?
course.
Yeah.
Choo choo. Another big train.
Gotta do the stalagmites and stalactites
And then hear
It
the
looks-
music.
and the original Rainbow Cavern look to it.
It
Yep.
looks like this musical may be based on a book called Knott's Preserved From Boysenberry to Theme Park, The
There you
History
go.
of Knott's Berry Farm by Christopher Merritt
Interesting.
and J. Eric Linksweiler.
Oh, Chris Merritt does a lot of like theme park
Theme
stuff.
park
He's got
history. So it's
yeah,
got
like
the
Disney
same
stuff. Yeah.
It's got the same name, so I wonder if it's like, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
That's cool.
That also exists. It's a 2010 book.
Well, that's awesome. I hope I get a chance to go to Knott soon. I miss the boysenberry stuff. The funnel cake definitely has always been on my list of things to get whenever I've had a chance to go. But I'm telling you, that hot sauce with the chicken, it's fantastic.
Oh, I missed
Definitely
I missed a
recommend
part of this book, introduced by Tony Baxter.
No way.
There's probably a foreword or something in the first page of the book.
That makes sense.
By
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stash. He
They
loves
all
Knott's
know
Berry
each
Farm.
other. He does love Knott's Berry Farm. That was one of the places where I saw him with some of the other former Imagineers.
Yeah.
We were standing in line for Mrs. Knott's. I think I sent you that picture at one point when we were like standing in line. And I went up to him and I was like, Tony. He didn't know who the hell I was.
Tony,
But you
baby,
went
come
after
here.
him,
Good to
so
see
kudos.
you.
But he's always so nice. Like, he's always been so cordial. He's such a cool guy. And I've always been lucky enough to at least get a picture or something with him whenever I've seen him out like that. But yeah, he does love Knott's. And I mean, there's such a connection to, Disney and the Imagineers. Like Berry Tales was all Rolly. That's a Rolly Crump attraction. So not a lot of people know that when the Imagineers left Disney, a lot of them went on to do other projects, and some of the like prominent Imagineers, like Disney legends even, like Bob Gurr has gone on and worked on so many other projects for Universal. He's done stuff in Vegas for some of the shows out there as well. So like the Imagineers, even when they leave Disney, they may be Disney legends and have this legacy of being Imagineers, but there's a lot of cool stuff that they do outside of Disney that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we should do. One of the history episodes, like we'll do a history segment on stuff outside of Disney that Imagineers have worked on. So that's let's put a pin in that one. I like that topic and just kind of do a little history of stuff. So let's move on to some other stuff here. There's a lot of media that's happening right now. First of all, I want to tell you that I did finally get an opportunity to watch the first episode of X-Men 97. Okay, from the moment I started watching, the nostalgia hit. It is so well done. The music hits very similar. Like the animation, the style, the cadence, everything. It was just like watching the original X-Men in the 90s. And it was just so good. I have seen a bunch of people complaining about the show online because people love to complain about stuff.
Yeah.
There's a whole the X-Men are woke and how dare they do this and how dare they do that. I was like, obviously you don't know the X-Men because that's the whole point of the X-Men.
Yep.
So to be they're woke and all this stuff that's happening, sorry, you messed up. That's X-Men from the very beginning. Stan Lee himself talked about that.
Yep.
I've only seen the first episode. Andrew, have you watched any of the episodes yet?
I have not because I don't care about the X-Men.
That's
I might
okay.
watch some of it.
You should
okay.
at least watch the first episode just so you
Okay.
get a feel for it.
I'd do it.
But Mel, you've seen everything out so far?
Yeah, I have.
All right. What's your thought on this?
I have a
It's
huge,
a Melissa episode.
huge.
and
I
I'm
know.
gonna
I'm
lay back.
talking a lot today. Hi.
That's okay. That's okay. Last week when I read every one of those friggin' Disney Legends names,
That is true. You get a break. No, I appreciate the heck out of this because one, I was watching this and I'm like, you kind of forget you're an adult because it takes you back to when we first saw this. So yeah, whatever. I'm aging myself. In the 90s when we had seen this was such a cool, well-written show that, it was pretty awesome. Who didn't have the VHS tape? See how much I really like this show? It's so good. And the fact that it picks up immediately after the last episode, there's not a show that could do that or could say that they could do that or a reboot that could do that. So the second episode is so good. Actually, okay, so Andrew, so since you don't care, I'm going to just say this for the first episode.
okay, Andrew doesn't care.
Storm. This is the Storm I want in person. That. She's just so powerful, so strong. Yes, this is the Storm that I remember as she was my favorite from the get-go. Why? Because she was just so awesome.
Is she the blue one?
What?
She's the one dressed all in white. She's the one that
She's in
controls
white.
the weather.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Who's the
Yeah.
blue one?
That's Beast.
Beast.
No, the blue girl one.
Oh,
Gray?
no, that's the one that the
Mystique.
one Rebecca. Yeah, Mystique. She's the one that Rebecca Romaine Stamos plays in the films.
That's
Okay.
yes. No, she's pretty cool too. But yeah, it's just hearing just her presence, hearing Gambit, just the little things like that. My only question was they moved a little fast for Jean Grey. I was like belly and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I was like, oh, this is just
I mean,
weird.
it's
I get it.
it's technically a year or two in the future after the end of the original series,
Yeah.
right? So it makes sense from a timeline perspective. If this was 6 weeks later, then yeah, that's whoa, mutant powers are wow, instant baby, right? But
Right.
oh, sorry, spoiler alert, everybody, if you haven't watched the first episode. But
She has a baby, apparently.
she's gonna have a baby,
Gonna
yeah.
have a baby. With
But-
who? Who with?
That's the surprise. We don't know. I'm kidding. We know, but I won't say it.
Professor X.
No.
Wolverine.
Let's just say it's one of her favorites,
wishes.
Bub.
I don't know what that means. Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man. You got it.
I don't
it's
know
a little spider
I don't know
baby.
anymore. Arm fall off boy.
Yes. Yeah. I was happy, obviously, to see Gambit, and I was happy to see Morph.
Is that the guy from Deadpool?
Who?
Gambit, or is that somebody else?
No, Gambit
know
is
nothing.
the guy from Louisiana that can like charge stuff up and usually throws playing cards.
Who's the guy from Deadpool that's played by Josh Brolin?
Cable.
Cable.
Cable?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another one-syllable name. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing. Ignore me.
It's okay. This is how
That's
we learn.
okay. Yeah. Jump into the episode. If you liked early 90s cartoons, you'll like the style at least. Even if you don't like the X-Men, I think you'll appreciate the style because it really is reminiscent of the cartoon style of the Saturday morning cartoons of the Thundercats and the Silverhawks and like all that style of cartoons that was out at the time. So, I quite enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to jumping into the other episodes. I saw that Disney Plus actually has the other X-Men stuff as well. So if you haven't seen the original 90s cartoons for the X-Men, they are available on Disney Plus now. Let's see. They do have all 5 seasons are available on Disney Plus if you want to watch the original version, including these new ones for X-Men 97. Tons of stuff happening with Disney Plus. Did you see that they did Hulu on Disney Plus now?
They
just launched
the
it this
Disney
week.
Plus from
Really?
blue to
It's now
teal.
they changed the logo, to a teal color because they're trying to merge the brands together. But in the tiles that appear, you'll have your Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Nat Geo, and then Hulu as one of the tiles up at the top. And this is if you're watching it on a full like TV.
Oh.
And then in the graphics, it'll say like Disney Plus with Hulu now, I think, as part of the icon that distinguishes what came from Hulu or Hulu on Disney Plus or something like that. So they're trying to merge the services together a little bit more. I am still a fan of the Hulu app way more than the Disney Plus app, and I wish they would have gone the opposite direction because the Hulu app is much better than the Disney app. I think the Disney Plus app has gotten slightly better in the last year, but I would have liked to have seen them take Hulu's technology and adapt the Hulu app into Disney Plus. I think it would have just been a better experience altogether. But you know what this means, right? More bundles.
Bundle. You know, can I just say I'm mad? I'm unreasonably upset that they changed the Disney Plus color because I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. It makes sense that they want to try to merge the two colors, the blue and the green, into like this weird greenish bluish thing, or this aquamarine that they're trying to go for. But if they really wanted it to stand out, they should have gone with something much more prominent, something that's different, because all the other services use blues. Like Paramount's is blue, CBS's is blue. Like Peacock has a little bit more color. Like Netflix is kind of the outlier because of the red that they have on theirs.
And like Max used to be like purple. But now I don't
But
know
now it's primarily blue.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, like the Max logo, I think now is all blue with white letters that say Max. So they're all kind of the same. And, if Disney really wanted to distinguish themselves from the other services, maybe they could have gone with like an orange, or they could have gone with
Hulu's the only one that's really green, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a really weird choice. If they wanted to make it the color that they did, I think they should have made it brighter. It's too dark of the
It's
color
like
that
a
they
gradient
selected.
of that teal and black, which is
Yeah,
like,
and it doesn't look good. Like if they just brightened it up and made it that color without that weird gradient look, I think it would have been a lot nicer. But, you know, it is what it
can
is
you
at
do?
this point. Yeah, exactly.
I was watching the beginning of the X-Men 97. It reminds me a lot of Captain Planet.
Yeah,
was
I'm
watching
telling you,
the-
it's very reminiscent of all those cartoons. That same style. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. More media stuff.
The juice is loose.
The juice is loose. Mel, how
Hold on.
excited are you about the juice being loose right now?
I'm like, I need a little bit more water.
Not juice.
Yes. Very, 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 very hyped. Okay. I even have this on a paper because I was like, I need to write this because I won't remember this at all. I put that the hype for me is like when I first saw the teaser trailer for Maleficent, when you hear Lana Del Rey sing, and it's like that deep tone. So that's how exactly, like, I won't be disappointed, I know that, but that's how hyped I was. Like, I saw it twice in a row. I don't usually do that. I just don't. It was more of just to hear everything, the audio. I mean, of course you had. Yes. So, when you first see this, you see the town of, I forgot what it's called, Winter River, and you know, it's just, that's when you start hearing that song. You hear the
Deo by Harry
Yes,
Belafonte,
yes.
the Banana Boat
Yes.
song.
Banana Boat song, and as you overlook it, you see Lydia's daughter, and she's on a
Is
bike.
that who this is? Is that
Jenny
who this
Ortega?
is supposed to be?
Jen Ortega, yeah.
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega is supposed to
That's
be
her
Lydia's daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
I assumed, but I didn't know if that was like confirmed or not. So
No, I have. I've seen in an article. Her name is Astrid. So you go to a shot in the
Astrid
cemetery.
Juice because she married Beetlejuice. No, I'm just kidding.
Choices.
Not to be confused with Janice's daughter, which Michael misspells on the M&Ms. If you're an Office fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And so you see like a funeral happening, services, and they're still singing that song, and then you see Lydia, Astrid, and I'm not sure what I can't remember her name.
Delia.
Yes, thank you. I'm like,
I've seen
I
Beetlejuice
see it.
like 100 times.
Cute. And then we see like, okay, we see Astrid in the attic. She sees this little table, and she sees the cover, unremoved.
Pulls the tarp off the. She
Yes,
pulls the tarp
thank you.
off the model of the town.
Yes, thank you. I think it's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
So you see the city, you see the town, and it's just, you see all the little things that we know from the first film, and it's just, you just hear it, and oopsies, you just keep hearing it, and then you just flashes of lights, and
It like starts to crack open, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
It like shakes
like
and cracks
green.
open.
It's like
and then
splitting.
green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lydia runs up, and then we see this puff of hair and the stripes, and we see the ghost with the most, which is awesome. So
And he says the juice is loose,
yeah,
which I think is very funny.
I think
But-
it's funny.
at the end you see like the name of the title, and it says in the bottom 2024 AD, and it's like,
That's
what?
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a time
Alrighty.
travel movie? Are we gonna
I don't know. I guess in today's world, I don't know.
Beetlejuice? So we have to theorize whose funeral they at.
The dads.
Dads.
You think it's Dad?
Oh yeah. If it's all of them, And
Yeah.
It's not
Astrid is
Ofo.
there.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be. I think
It's gonna be
that's.
Dad.
I fully believe the premise is just gonna be like Astrid trying to find a replacement or like another like male like role model or something, you know, because her dad passed away. And,
Oh, you think it's gonna be
you know,
her dad and not Lydia's dad?
no, I think it's her dad. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
And her dad's gonna be a ghost.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to. I want to see another trailer before I speculate even further. But just from what we've seen, I feel like that's the direction they're gonna go in. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll. Because if I'm remembering the first movie correctly, didn't Beetlejuice trick Lydia into marrying him to release him?
Yeah, but then it doesn't happen.
Right.
Okay,
Like,
but what if he...
They say his name 3 times, and then...
Right, but in this one, they didn't have to say his name. They didn't have to do a marriage ceremony or anything. So I'm wondering, like, what released him this time?
Well, no, it was releasing him from his, like basically, like, his bonds of doing what he does. Like, it's, like, he can go about the house and, like, do... I don't know. It's like he can't interact with the human world until you say his name 3 times. And so that's why he was like in the like miniature city. Like he was still there before and like talking to and he was also in the first movie, he was mostly talking to the Dietzes. And then because Lydia could see, or not the Dietzes, I'm sorry, the
Maitlands?
The Maitlands, yeah, the Maitlands. And then Lydia could see him, and so he's a ghost with the most. So, but it was something, you know, the sandworms and da 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 da, and that was releasing him from that sort of thing. I believe is what that was, or she was gonna take his place. I don't remember exactly. I've seen it like 100 times, and I still don't remember.
So we're probably missing the way that the trailer was edited. We're probably missing the point where Astrid probably said his name 3 times. Like she probably read it on a piece of paper or something, and that started the rumbling, which caught Lydia's attention. She runs up, and that's when he pops up. Right?
Lots of editing tricks. Yeah, because it probably she pulls it off, and then I'm assuming that
she reads the sign.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like,
oh yeah.
In the video, I'm scrolling through it right now. In the video, Astrid pulls the cloth off, and then the next shot, it's a completely different time of day. It's like really dark, and it's Winona Ryder looking at the table. And in the wide shot, it's only Winona Ryder and Beetlejuice. It's only Lydia. It's not Astrid from the first part of it. So yeah, there's lots of stuff in between. It looks like that is happening. But
interesting.
Still, I'm excited. The juice is loose.
The juice is loose. You know, it's funny when I saw the trailer. I've seen it a couple of times at this point, but when I first saw it, especially the second time, I knew he was going to say the juice is loose, and I still, in my head, heard, somebody stop me. Because it just feels, I know, but it feels so much more like something that Beetlejuice would say. Like, at least in my head, that, I don't know, I like that for him more. Let's go back and recut the trailer. Let's have him say that instead.
He says, somebody stop me.
Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. How do you think he looked?
Beetlejuice? Old.
Yeah.
He looks very old, and I don't know if it's just mostly, this is what, 30-something years
Something like that. Yeah.
The original.
30.
So Michael Keaton has aged from a, like, man in his 40s to a man in his 70s, or however old Michael Keaton is.
But I want to say, though,
I'm gonna look it up. How old is
for Beetlejuice? He's like 94. But here's the thing: as Beetlejuice, he looked bad, right? But I'm attributing it to, you know, he's been 30 years trapped in this little town or in this table before it cracked open, because Michael Keaton himself, man, at the Oscars when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito were like, yeah, we got beaten by Batman, and he was like Bruce Wayne-ing it up in the audience, he didn't look that bad. Like,
No,
for his
but-
age, he didn't
yeah.
look that bad.
It's all for his age, but yeah. So Beetlejuice was released in 1988. So
Oh.
that's 35
while
years ago,
back.
36 years ago almost. And so yeah, he was born in 1951. So he is 72.
No
Like I
way.
said.
Yeah. So
I know I said 92, but I meant 72.
So he was like, 40 in his late 40s when he played Beetlejuice, and now he's an old man. So I mean, you know, age is different than it was like somebody that was 72. Like if you look at like Mickey Rooney or something when he was 72,
Yeah.
or Dick Van Dyke when he
Oh,
was
yeah.
72. Versus this, but it's also like the movie is in HD compared
That is
to
true.
like,
Oh, yeah.
That is
like
true.
the original just on film, like all those wrinkles are coming out. But in theory, he's a ghost. He shouldn't age. But
Maybe he was
we're
tortured.
gonna get
Oh, that's a
Maybe.
good one. Yeah,
we're
that's a
gonna
good
give
one.
it to him because who cares? Because Beetlejuice.
You're
That's
getting Beetlejuice, exactly.
Beetlejuice. If he could pop.
No,
up right
here he comes.
I was gonna say why.
I'll do it. I don't care. He could be here right now. I just don't. I
You
just
just
can't
don't
see
know.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel a rumbling?
In my tumbly, I do. But I
Oh
don't know
well,
if
I
counts.
don't know if that's Beetlejuice. That might be the tacos from earlier. Well, that's
I
awesome.
had macaroni and cheese for dinner. Thank you very much.
Well, now you know where the rumbling's coming from. Yeah, we'll put the trailer up on Discord if you haven't had an opportunity to watch it yet. It's a pretty fun trailer. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I like Beetlejuice. I wasn't like a huge fan of it or anything, but I have to say that after watching the trailer, I'm actually excited for this film as well. Like I want to go back and watch the original and watch it with the boys so that they can get like watch that first one, because I want them to also watch this one. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun movie. Speaking of movies, we got an announcement this week that Pirates of the Caribbean is coming back, but it looks like it's a reboot this time around. So it looks like we're not going to get Johnny Depp. Andrew,
Yes.
were you expecting Johnny Depp to come back? What do you think about this Pirates reboot that's being touted around right now?
You know, I was not expecting Johnny Depp to come back. I know a lot of people were theorizing, and websites such as our favorite website, Inside the Magic, love to talk about Johnny Depp ad nauseum. But I was not, when Disney severs ties with people, 90% of the time they like are stuck to that. They say nope, we're done. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you really think about it, like Pirates of the Caribbean as a franchise has been on a downward slope since the beginning. Like each one just like well, the first three and then the last two took a nosedive down when it came to quality and viewership, et cetera, ratings. Boom. So there's no reason why they would want to hitch their horse to the wagon of Johnny Depp if there's no reason to do that, because his name is not something that they want to, that is going to automatically bring in $1 billion or whatever their metric they're looking for. So yeah, I'm not surprised in the least that they're trying to reboot this, because Pirates of the Caribbean has been a good franchise for them, merchandise wise, and the attraction at Disneyland, et cetera. I'm curious to see if it's going to be like a hard reboot of the Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl. We're just going to do that again, or if it's going to be like other stories in it's just going to be a whole different thing using Pirates of the Caribbean
That's what I think.
as the name. It's going to be it's not going to wipe out what happen to the original 5 films. It's not going to.
It's just
like,
going to be a pirate verse.
It's just going
now.
to be a pirate verse. It's just more pirates in a different place, and yo ho. So yeah, it looks like Jerry Bruckheimer is the one we're getting most of this news from.
Yeah. I like to get some of this news, especially when it's closer to breaking, from our friends at the Diz Insider, because they tend to post things when they have much more information about it, and it's a lot more like solidified.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a Disney website that is better at reporting stuff, check out our friends at the Diz Insider. They do a fantastic job. Yeah, I really think that it's going to be more of a pirate verse situation, right? And I feel like Red is going to be the central character in the first like 1 or 2 films when they reboot this, because of how prominent she's become on the attraction. And like Johnny Depp, even if they did consolidate all the stuff that happened, and they made up with him, and they decided we're cool with Johnny Depp, it does make sense to reboot it, because one, he is getting older, even if Michael Keaton has shown us that it doesn't matter that you're 72 playing a 40-year-old character. But not using Johnny Depp means that they don't have to spend millions of dollars on the character itself, or on the actor for the film. They can invest that in other actors. So expect Jenna Ortega to be in the next Pirates film.
Jenna Ortega, Finn Wolfhard, Timothy
Chalamet.
Oh, gosh, no.
As Barbosa. This is the prequel.
Zendaya and
Zendaya, Tom Holland,
Cool.
and special guest appearance by Tiffany Haddish. I don't know.
I mean, it could be anyone. It could.
Oh, Keegan-Michael Key's gonna be in it too, because he's in apparently every movie that ever comes out ever.
He's the new Barbosa then.
He's the new Barbosa. He's in every movie. Well, I don't know why Keegan-Michael Key has been in every movie, but he's in every movie. That's very funny.
Because he can.
He's a good actor. I like Keegan-Michael Key.
He is.
It's either him or Kevin Hart, so take your pick.
Keegan-Michael Key.
I feel like the reboot is gonna be pretty neat, where it's gonna, let's say it tells stories of pirates before, and then that's what'll like carry on. I mean, there's people who are throwing names around like Margot Robbie, and I don't care. I don't care. I want to see someone who is better than Elizabeth Swann.
So
what if?
go ahead.
What? So just yes, and what if it's this? Like you're watching this entire story, right? And you hear the narrator at the beginning, like talking about back in the years of blah 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 and the Black Pearl we used to see, and it goes into the film, right? And at the end, you cut to like a scene next to a fireplace and a rocking chair, and there's like a little kid that says, "Wow, Grandma, that was a great story. Will you tell me another one?" And then it pans up, and it is Elizabeth Swann, and she's like, "Maybe another time, son," or "Maybe another time, my child. Maybe another time."
This is like the Princess Bride.
Yes, exactly. But pirates.
The Princess Bride already has pirates.
But no, I mean Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the pirate verse, Andrew.
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool, like to follow. That is a good way to follow up. Like.
So
Yeah.
So here's a quote from Jerry Bruckheimer. He's talking about, this is on the Hollywood Reporter, talking about, it says, people are talking about Margot Robbie, blah, 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 blah. And it says, in 2022, they were getting very close to Pirates 6 and even had a very good script. We developed 2 of them, one of them with Margot Robbie and one with a younger cast. The Margot Robbie one needs a little more work. The younger cast one is close. Hopefully we'll get both of them.
With Jenna Ortega and Finn and Zendaya. Yeah, that makes sense.
Timothy Chalamet to Tiffany Haddish.
Now,
and it's a musical. And it's a musical.
We already
Go
got
figure.
we got the song. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Tap dancing.
That's true.
I don't know why I put the influx tap dancing, not tap dancing.
Meh.
It makes sense. I like it. Well, only time will tell. I'm sure that at D23 there's going to be some announcement about Pirates, especially with some of the press that it's getting right now. D23 I think is going to be really heavy on more content, especially considering all of the reorganization with the Marvel content and all the stuff that's been canceled. So I'm sure there's going to be more announcements on that stuff, on this franchise, attractions, obviously, the expansion of the Disneyland Forward expansion. But, we'll see. Hey, speaking of attractions in the park, It's a Small World. Not It's a Small World, or even...
Hold on, Hayes. We're talking about there. Do you want to speak about some lovely people that we haven't talked about yet before we get into this?
That's a good idea.
Speaking of that, we should speak about some people.
That is a fantastic idea.
Yep.
Let us take a moment right now to thank a very special group of listeners known as the FGP Squad, our podcast, Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find a list of some of our top contributors, a link to our Patreon, a little information about what the FGP Squad is all about. But being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks like access to discount codes when we release new Podketeers gear, a special section on Discord, content that we've uploaded to Patreon, random giveaways, and more. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support.
Every time you say that, it always reminds me of like the thing that PBS used to have. It's like, and with viewers like you,
Aw.
thank you.
Aww.
Well, it's a sentiment. Yeah, it's the same thing.
All right. So now, thank you, FGP Squad, again. Let's jump into the next piece of news that was announced today. I didn't get a chance to read too much about this. Andrew, I think you sent this to us in the text message. Tell us a little bit about what's happening to It's a Small World. Not here, but where and what's happening to it.
Yeah, so random announcement coming out of Tokyo. Kind of a surprising but interesting thing. Tokyo Disney has announced that It's a Small World will be getting a new overlay, but not for a holiday or anything. It's going to be called It's a Small World with Groot. So It's a Small World with Groot. There's a poster and everything. It looks like Marvel characters are going to be, just kind of hanging out in It's a Small World. The poster features It's the Small World boat. I'm sure Hazen has put it up over here or over. I
Look
don't know
at that.
Is it here? There it is. There's the poster over there.
Now you're pointing
I
in the right
pointed
direction.
at the wrong
yes.
way. I was looking.
We got to
at-
get used to it.
I was looking at my other screen, so I was like, it's somewhere. It's up here. It's over there. It's over the left. I have to remember it's over here. Anyway, over here, you can see we have up at the top we have Captain Marvel. We have Ant-Man the Wasp over here on the left. Ms. Marvel, Black Panther. We have Hulk. We have Rocket Raccoon. We have Thor. We have Captain America. We have Gamora, Mantis, Flurkin, Groot. Yeah, Goose. Star-Lord. I'm assuming this one is Drax. And then we have a little portal on the back with Doctor Strange and my man Wong there. I'm assuming this is who that is in the back there.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm missing anybody in this poster unless there's like some secret hidden things. But yeah. So kind of an interesting update to It's a Small World. They're calling it an overlay. So it's not it doesn't seem to be a like complete like retheme where like at Disneyland and Walt Disney World they put the Disney, princess characters and other Disney characters in the ride permanently. This is just a fun time thing for fun, which is good. I like when they just do fun stuff just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I have to say, first of all, this poster is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need this poster somehow. Anybody that goes to Tokyo, if you can send me this poster, tell me your Venmo. I will send you money for it. Unless they offer this on shopdisney.com, I don't have a lot of space, as you can tell, for art like this anymore. But I'm willing to make space for this. I don't even care if you don't see it on camera. I need this poster. This is the cutest little mightiest poster I've ever seen. This is fantastic.
Earth's cutest heroes.
Exactly. That's a great tagline for this. Listen, there aren't many opportunities, especially nowadays, that I choose to quote George Lopez or even find an opportunity to quote him. But to quote George Lopez, man, we can never get nothing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I have a pain in my chest and I can't
No,
breathe.
not in this
Not
case.
that.
This one is, man, we can never get nothing. Because this would have been an amazing overlay to have here for a short
Yeah,
time.
but Hazen, why are you crying?
Oh.
Because we can never get nothing. That's why. This is awesome. This was such an unexpected announcement, and yet I'm so happy about it. I'm not gonna see this obviously unless somebody posts it on YouTube, but man, this is just fantastic. This is what I
was gonna say. I just wish they sold plushes. I
oh,
want Goose.
absolutely.
I want that, of all the ones, I think I like the Hulk the best.
The Hulk does look cool.
cute.
His little
Yeah.
glasses and everything, that little smile to the side.
T-shirt and stuff.
The cheeks.
I
It's
like
so
the
cool.
Hulk.
Yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. Let's see. What else we got? We got some March Mayhem updates. Let's head on over to the bracket here.
It's over here now, I know.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. When I first started talking about the bracket and we assigned it, we did the episode on it, I was pretty happy with how it all turned out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on Discord, FGP Squad member Brian made a great point. He said, if you look at it, when we seeded everyone, we thought that seeding some of the top contenders in the corners would be a great idea because it gave everyone a fighting chance. But Brian pointed out that it was basically predicting who everyone in the semifinals was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, what ended up happening
What's that?
is exactly that the four in the semifinals are Homer versus Maggie, which were the two corners on the left side, and Bart versus Lisa, which were the two corners. Krusty was in the true corner, but it was against Lisa in that matchup.
Yeah.
So Brian called it, first of all. As soon as I saw...
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, when I saw Ralph get eliminated versus Bart, I certainly had one of those no moments because I really wanted to see Ralph take it all the way. But as of the recording of this episode, voting is currently going on for these two semifinals. And so next week we will have crowned a new March Mayhem champion. Looking at these four, Homer versus Maggie, Bart versus Lisa, who do you think is going to go into the championship and who do you think is going to take it?
It's obviously going to be Maggie versus Lisa. No, it's never going to be Maggie. Well,
Why not?
Because
never
it's
know.
going to be Homer versus Bart. We all know that from the beginning it was going to be Homer versus Bart. Now we all just have to decide, is it going to be Homer who wins or is it going to be Bart who wins? Is
it Homer or the boy?
Or the boy. listen here, boy. Like when he was in the first season.
Yeah. On Tracy Ullman.
I'm Homer. All right, boy.
That's funny.
But yeah, so it's gonna be Homer versus Bart. I mean, I'd love it to be Lisa versus Maggie, or Homer versus Maggie, or no, it can't be Homer, or Maggie versus Bart, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be Homer versus Bart. I mean,
You never know.
I would
Maggie took out Mr. Burns.
I
You
would
never know.
put good money on Homer versus Bart being the last one. I'm not.
And you're saying Homer?
because
If that's the final, do you think it's Homer?
that I don't know.
No.
Because that's where the true, I think the only thing that we couldn't predict is who is it going to be, Homer, is it going to be Bart, because they're the staples of the show.
Yeah.
So, and of people's like personalities and of like pop culture, like there's so many Homer memes and there's so many Bart memes and there's,
Yeah.
I want to give it to, I think I'm leaning, if I had to pick, I'd lean Homer.
Bart.
You know what's going to happen?
Roger Rabbit's going to win.
Roger Rabbit's going to win. Exactly. It's going to be Marge with a chair. She's going to come in with a steel chair, take the whole thing.
Yep. There you go.
That's funny. So Mel, where are you on this one? Because, I mean, you mentioned Maggie versus Lisa. Was that wishful thinking, or do you think that's truly where this is going to end up?
I think it's going to be Maggie versus Bart. And I know.
You think it's Maggie versus Bart?
Yes, I think I sound crazy, but I
really
hope want it to be that.
That's what happens. Get Homer out of there. But
Yeah. I think because
Okay.
Homer would be like the obvious choice, and it's like I kind of want
but
one
everybody's
of his kids.
picking the obvious choice every time. That's the thing. They're
Yeah.
picking the obvious choice every time.
Yeah. Man, I really wanted Ralph to win. I mean, he probably still can, right? He'll come in at the end and be like, I'm the winner.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just gonna make a
April
bracket
Fools is
where
around the corner.
I'm gonna make a bracket where even if it's Homer versus Bart or whoever are the final
then
ones,
our winner
I'm
is
putting
Ralph.
Ralph as the winner, and it's gonna say I'm the winner. You both make really good points. Obviously, I think I hate to say it, but I feel like the one that's least likely to win of the four left is Lisa, because I think Homer has the strongest backing. I mean, I guess between Bart and Homer, they probably have the strongest backings. But Maggie's got the cuteness, and she's got a really big following, especially after all of the Maggie shorts that they've put on Disney Plus. She's got a much bigger fan base now. Not that she didn't before, but of the four, I feel like Lisa is least likely to win. So if she wins, I think it's going to be a big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be a very big upset if Lisa won.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how it turns out. We got a couple more matchups wrapping up after this episode records. It'll be right around the time that this episode releases, so you might already know the winner by the time that you watch this episode. But we'll see how close we were. Or listen to this episode, yeah. If you're listening on your favorite podcast app, or watching on YouTube, or playing on YouTube but listening because you're doing other stuff like working or cleaning. I don't know, maybe driving.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what you're doing while you're listening, but we appreciate you listening.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Hey, let's talk a little bit of D23 stuff for a bit, because actually that'll be kind of how we wrap up the episode today, because we talked about all the stuff that was announced so far. We have the week leading up into D23. We talked about the split into the Honda Center for the 3 big panels that are going to be happening the evening of each day of the expo. And tickets went on sale. They had 3 ticket sale dates. Today was the second of the ticket availability dates as we are recording this episode. Yesterday they did it for D23 Gold members. Today they did a pre-sale for D23 members and anybody with a Visa card.
D23 Gold members who are also Visa card members, I believe.
So pretty much anyone with a Visa, because yeah, because I'm pretty sure every Disney Gold member has some kind of Visa.
Yeah,
because it doesn't have to be a Disney Visa either.
No.
It just has to be Visa.
And it was any credit or debit, which was
so it doesn't really matter. So everybody pretty much qualified for today. It was kind of a second chance at getting tickets.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow is the general ticket sales that are going to be available for everyone.
Which you still have to be a D23 member, but even including a free member.
Right. And that you can just go to the D23 website, sign up, you enter your email, all that good stuff. You don't have to pay anything. Your experience trying to get tickets, because I know we talked about it. I know we considered going for a couple days at least. I know that I was kind of on the fence about what I wanted to do. I could talk a little bit more about that. But Andrew, you had already made the decision that you were going to opt into trying to get all 3 days. You were going to try to go for the full shebang.
Right.
What was the experience like? Because it sounds like everything went super smoothly.
Yeah, let me tell you a tale of a nice smooth sailing thing that everything went nice and easy and peasy. No, that didn't happen. So yeah, on Monday or not Tuesday, Monday. What? Yeah, Tuesday. On Tuesday. Go in, I log in, you know, I the night before I make sure I'm logged in on my browser. D23 is all logged in, everything. And I have it on my phone because I know I'm going to have to be running around during the day going to work, et cetera, so I can't have it up on my computer. And so I have it on the browser in my phone. I'm going throughout the day. It's going to start at 12. Okay, I set an alarm to make sure I'm in there. I already have the link up. It says you're in the pre-queue or whatever. You'll be assigned a random order just like anybody else that arrives before the sale, which one thing, I don't know how random this is, I have to say. I don't know how they're choosing the randomness of this, but so 12 o'clock comes around and I'm let in and it says I'm number 21,300 and some odd place in line. I was like, okay, it's not boding well for me. About, I don't know, maybe it's a half hour, 45 minutes in, the notification pops up. Oh no, our website crashed. Yeah, 12:38, there it is. Currently aware of a technical issue that some guests may be experiencing with the ticketing site. We hope to resume shortly. Thanks for your patience. I think that lasted for about 45 minutes or so. And then they're like, hooray, tickets are back. And so it was progressing. I finally, before I even got into, oh no, this is untrue. So I got into the, it was like 2:30 or so PM when I finally was able, my 21,000th place in line came up. And I was able to get in, and the only tickets that we were going to try and do the Honda Center thing. We're like, okay, we'll see what's available, for me and my wife. We get in there, and the only tickets available are the floor seats. Not even the $900 ones. They're the $1,400 ones. And up were the only ones available. So I'm like, okay, do I just want to... The regular tickets, the general just expo tickets were still available at that point. So I was like, should I try again tomorrow, or should I just buy the general expo tickets? I'm like, okay, we'll try again tomorrow, see if our luck is any better, place in line. That's this morning. So I do the same thing. My browser has been up this whole time, just saved on my phone. I've never closed my Google Chrome on my phone the whole time. So I opened it last night, and it's like, you have 9 hours or 12 hours or however long until it opens again. So I do the same thing, set my alarm, go, get in, and my place in line is 20,000 something. I was a whole 1,000 people ahead this time. Whoopity-doo. And so we were in a group chat. Me, Melissa, and some other folks were in a group chat talking about, okay, who's going, who's trying to buy tickets right now. A mutual friend of ours was 31st in line. I call him, but we'll call him Mr. Lucky.
Talk about a number in the queue.
Yeah,
man.
that's just like immediately in line. And then another friend was like 1,200 in line, which is not a bad spot. And then I was 20,000, and then I think another friend was 29,000 in line. So friend one, Mr. Lucky, work was buying his ticket. So he couldn't buy anybody else tickets, which is fine. Like, I don't expect anybody to buy me tickets. Friend two, they offered to buy tickets. And I was so concerned of not getting tickets just because of how this was going. I had them buy tickets for me, and I sent them money. So I do have tickets for the expo, no Honda Center whatsoever. But by the time 12,000 got in, you know, their 1,200 place in line, not 12,000, 1,200, all the regular seats, only the $1,000 seats were available at that point. And that was when a push notification came through that's like, all right, all the fan passes are sold out, or the super fan passes or whatever they were called, ultimate fan pass. Only the 1 day tickets for the Honda Center and blah 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 blah, these are still available. So I knew we'd be talking about it today, so I kept my browser up just to see how long it took my little green walkie man to get to the end of the queue to be able to purchase and see what was available. And I think it was like 2:40 to 3 o'clock, somewhere in there, by the time my number came up. I felt like Beetlejuice when it gets the big long number.
That's crazy.
And so tickets, by the time I got up, regular general just expo tickets were still available, so I could have purchased them myself. It seems like they're still, and our friend that was 39,000th in line, they were also able to get general expo tickets. So it seems like there's plenty, as of this exact moment, there's plenty of just general expo tickets, and there's also like 1 day tickets available with Honda Center, which is very confusing.
I have a theory about it. I think what they did was they had a specific number of preset bundles and specific types that they wanted to sell on every day to ration them out so that they were available for each release time. Yeah. Because obviously if all gold members bought them out on that first day, then there wouldn't be any available the next two release periods, right? So I feel like they wanted to give people the opportunity to buy them. I don't think they rationed them out because of bots the way that they would have with other shows or concerts or anything, because D23, and this is where my concern came in, right? They're not transferable and they're not refundable, which is totally different than tickets for other things. And for me, I know I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to go. I was just concerned not knowing how I'm going to be feeling or what I'm going to be going through at that point, right? And so it's hard for me to plan what's going to happen 5 days from Monday on a weekend. You know, planning 5 months in the future is even more difficult. That's why going to the parks has been hard, because I could wake up one day feeling great, and I could wake up the next day feeling totally bad. And if I woke up feeling bad on a day that I had a reservation and I cancel same day, it's going to ding my pass, right? So the reservation system has been absolutely a nightmare for me specifically. So knowing that I wanted to go to D23, I was talking to my wife about it, and we were trying to figure out what the best course of action would be, because if we did, let's suppose that we bought all 3 tickets or all 3 days for all 4 of us, that's $1,300 after fees and everything, you know, that's a lot of money for an expo, and for me specifically, if halfway through the expo I have to go to the car to take a nap because I don't feel well or whatever the case is, that means I spent $300 on taking a nap that day.
Yep.
Right. So the ultimate conclusion I came to was I definitely want to at least be there Saturday. I want to make sure that, I could, hang with you a little bit and Tina and everything. And if Mel ends up going, hopefully we get a chance to hang out that day too. But Fridays obviously are big because it's the opening. Saturdays, there's still a lot more stuff happening. Sundays are usually like the kind of calmer day of all of them. So I knew that I may struggle on Saturday because it's one of the more congested days. So I'm hoping I can get through the day. Excuse me, but the whole Honda Center thing, I still don't know how I 100% feel about it because we talked about this, right? We get it. The reason they're doing it is because they want to be able to pack more people to see the show. The stadium seating, we talked about it last episode, is much better for the viewing aspect of it instead of kind of the flat seating that they have in Hall D23 and everything. But man, just getting to the Honda Center, even if you're taking the shuttle, having to leave an hour or two earlier, to make sure that you make it there. The having to stand in the line to get in and finding your seat, and I saw a couple of people posting the rules for the Honda Center, which appear to be a Honda Center rule. It's not a D23 rule where you can't take a bag with you. You can only take what was the size, Andrew? It was like a clear
5x9x2 or something. It's basically like the size of like a big wallet. Like a clutch.
And it has to be like a clear one, right?
It doesn't have to be clear, but no bags. It doesn't matter if it's clear or not. Basically, no bags except for like whatever is in this little side. Just basically like this, like a
So if you're
enough to fit your phone and some money in, basically.
So definitely vlogging or recording, it's going to be hard if you want to take an entire thing in there.
Yeah, I got
where all your extra batteries and stuff going to go, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So yeah, the whole Honda Center thing for me was, if we get it, cool. If we don't, we don't. It's the only one that I definitely would have tried actively to get was the Legends one.
Yeah.
But because it's on a Sunday and we have to worry about the kids going to school and everything,
because Legends used to be
it
in
turns
the morning,
into a big
right?
thing. It was the very first thing on Friday.
Yeah, it was the boom.
Now it's the last presentation of the weekend. So I don't know. I know I'm doing a lot of complaining, but a lot of the complaining I'm doing is primarily catered to how I feel and how it's going to affect me on the 3 days, especially given the amount of money that it would cost to go for 1, 2, or 3 days for the expo. So again, the last thing I want is to spend $300 and have to go spend the day in my car sleeping because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
totally.
So I am excited to be able to go. Ultimately, I decided let's try to get 2 days worth, at least Saturday and Sunday. And if it works out, it works out. I want to try to make it work out. I don't want to lose the money, so I have to try to make the most of it as best I can, I think. So we'll see. But we ended up getting this whole, and it's crazy too because the entire discussion of how to get, should we get tickets, should we not, was all taking place as the queue opened. But I was working and I was in a meeting, so I couldn't actively talk to my wife about it. So I had to wait for in between stuff that I was doing for work to be able to kind of get through the discussion. And I think she tried and she didn't get into the queue until 2 o'clock. But she had started the queue around 11, just in case I decided, let's jump on it. But she left her browser open too. She didn't get into the queue until 2 o'clock. To have the ability to purchase. So it was weird. like you said, the numbering system and the randomness of the situation was really odd, because I was seeing, I don't know if people were dropping off of the queue because they saw a big number and they thought, I'm never going to get this, so I'm just going to leave the queue. So they were abandoning the number, because I was watching posts of people saying I'm in the queue with numbers lower than what you posted and what other people had posted that had been waiting longer from the beginning. So I don't know how they were assigning the numbers. It was really crazy.
This has been the worst experience buying tickets thus far when it comes to the expo. It seems to be getting worse. I mean, I know that adds this whole nother wrinkle of the Honda Center thing into it. It's new. So I think that's why it was such a kerfuffle. Because people had to pick their seats and and find the seats and try to refresh and and there's only whatever they said 12,000 seats available in the Honda Center, and the numbers were I looked up 80,000 people went to the expo last year, or last time I should say, 2022. So 80,000 people, or a good chunk of 80,000 people, all trying to squeeze into 12,000 spots. Square peg doesn't fit in a round hole.
Or doesn't it? I've seen videos where it does, so let's not even go there. Was there a limit on how many tickets you could buy?
I think it's 8, if I'm not mistaken. I think 8 was the limit. So because I know the friend that bought our tickets, they bought their 2 for themselves, 2 for, I know they ended up with 6 tickets total, and I believe the number was 8.
Okay.
That you could buy per transaction or per membership or whatever.
Gotcha. Because I can't imagine that you were the only people that did that. I'm sure that other people that had friends in line were comparing their numbers as well.
Oh, yeah.
And must have done the same thing that you did, because if the tickets ran out that quickly, I mean, it could have
all know we just have to do this next time. Everybody get your browsers open, and then we'll all be on the Discord server. And all right, who got what number?
Yeah.
And why?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. I'm glad I have the tickets. I'm interested to see how in the world we're gonna pick what panels we want to go to this year. That every year they decide to change it up. Is it gonna be the same as last year, where you picked something you liked and then you didn't get it,
and then there was
anyway?
a lottery-ish sort of thing.
Get any of the things that you put on it. I was just assigned random things. I don't think we got maybe one of the things on our whole list for the whole weekend. So
what was the fast lane or fast pass kind of thing that they had 2 or 3 expos ago?
Yeah, I don't know. They've tried so many different things for all
I feel like
that.
that one was the most successful of all the things that they've tried.
Was that the one where you would go up to the counter?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my favorite.
That was the most successful of all of them.
Waiting in the line and going up to the counter and saying, "This one, please." And that way you're getting into that one on that day.
Yep.
You didn't have to try and be on your computer and let random numbers be, choose your fate. If you got in line, you could tell how many people are ahead of you in a line, in a physical line. That was my favorite way that they've done it so far.
It's been the smoothest one. I mean, obviously the horrible part is the standing in line part of it, and I understand that trying to make it all digital and allowing you to do it through the app and everything is so that you don't waste expo time in line for those events. But I'm in my head, I'm trying to justify it not from the attendee standpoint. I could see them trying to just do the digital thing, not for ease for the attendee, but more because they see it as the less time they're waiting in line to choose what they want is more time they can be
They're on the
spending
floor
money at
buying.
Mickey's of Glendale's.
Exactly.
Right? So I want to be realistic about it. So, so am I. You know, that obviously that and the Imagineering store is always two that I love to hit up the days that I'm there. So if all I did was that, I obviously Friday, I always like to go Friday because that was the day of the Disney Legends panel and it was the first thing. And so when I first thought of going to the expo, I thought to myself, hey, if I go Friday, it's the first thing I do. By the time that's over, if I feel like I need to go home or something, I don't care. I got to see the Legends panel, right? I got the main thing I wanted to go. And now it's at the end of the day on the last day of the expo, and I'm like, oh, man, how would this even work? How? So
they've realized that that's their big panel. They finally, after... whatever, 10 years, how many years it's been? 15 years or whatever of, of
84 years.
It's been 84 years. They finally realized that the Legends is their big panel. So,
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
if anybody listening or watching attempted to get D23 tickets, we'd love to know what your experience was like. Leave a comment. Tell us, were you able to get what you wanted? Did you have to wait till the next day or the third day? What number were you?
21,000th in line with me?
Or did you do what Andrew did and have somebody buy your tickets that had a better number than you did? I'd love to know kind of just where everybody kind of fell in that like spectrum. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what else gets released, what they're going to have each day, and how, like you said, how they're going to allow us to select what we want this time around.
Yeah.
So more to come. More D23 as more news gets announced.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We've been going fairly long. We started early, and we were like, yay, we're early, and now we're about the same time anyway, so but it was good. There was tons of great talk, so I love it. Anything else that either one of you wants to put out there?
The juice is loose.
The juice is loose. I mean, I hope that's just a quote and not an action, because that would be bad. So,
do
we have Quizneyland this week, or was that last week?
No, that was last week, so I don't think so. I think it was
one more week.
So it'll be next week. Nothing this week.
Either way, listen to Quizneyland. It's a great episode.
Yeah, listen to Quizneyland. The juice is loose. It's my new catchphrase until the movie comes out.
Somebody stop me.
Somebody stop smoking. Just going to mix up the mask and Beetlejuice. It's fine.
All of them together.
Yeah, listen to Quizneyland. Go ahead. Do it.
Yeah.
It's
all
a
right.
fun time.
That's it. That's going to wrap it up. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.